Exotic class items are getting a new method of acquisition in Festival of the Lost. You can get these even if you haven't done Dual Destiny, with the only caveat being that you won't be able to focus them for specific perks. All other methods of getting these class items will open up as well once you get one from Festival of the Lost. Overthrow on the Pale Heart will start dropping them for you, and Xur will start selling them to you. This will allow a new wave of Guardians to get their hands on these class items for the first time, so I thought I might chip in with my favorite perks on these coveted exotics. Having the right perks on these class items can really make the difference. None are bad per se, but some of the not so great rolls can feel quite underwhelming, while a really good roll on a class item can completely change how you play Prismatic. The perks on these class items aren't exactly like their original counterparts. Many of these perks take an original exotic, shave off a portion of the functionality, and become spirit of said exotic. Sometimes the part that gets shaved off really cripples the exotic, and it may not be as good as the original. Other times the function that gets left behind is so insignificant that you'll hardly notice the change at all. Let's dive in and see what perks are worth looking for. Let's start with Hunters. You all have quite the lineup. I would avoid perks like Assassin, Dragon, and Ophidian. Those might have more of a use in PvP, but in PvE, invisibility is already built into the Hunter Prismatic kit, and the other bonuses might help you a bit, but they won't be as strong as other options. Spirit of Galanor will refund super energy when your super ends based on how many hits and takedowns you got with it. This is a very strong perk to have with any super, and the most obvious pairing would be Star Eater, giving you more super damage as well. There's no other perks that would really synergize with it, but refunding up to half your super just by using it is never a bad thing. Foe Tracer gives a 4x surge when you hit a strong enemy with an ability. That surge will match the flavor of the ability used, so if you use a Smoke Bomb, you'll get a Void Surge. This is a very strong exotic on its own, and you can even pair it with Gear Falcon, which can see you getting volatile rounds on top of that surge. Spirit of Caliban causes ignitions from powered melee takedowns, so what better pairing than either Syntheseps or Liars, which both give extra melee damage. If you want to use more melee abilities, go with Synthos. If you want to punch more, go with Liars. Some other perks are simply good on their own and don't necessarily benefit from having a specific pairing perk. Perks to look out for on their own include Inmost Light for easy passive ability regeneration, Renewal for enhanced dust field and bonus frost armor, Verity for bonus grenade damage. Certarachne will give you Woven Mail on grenade usage, which is always a very strong armor buff. And finally Coyote, which will give you an additional dodge charge. Warlocks, you're up. A lot of these perks aren't fantastic, but the ones that are good are really good. Inmost Light is good, as I just mentioned, but other than Inmost, the big three in the first column are Necrotic, Osmiomancy, and Apotheosis. Necrotic is an incredible class item perk, mostly because Necrotic Grip is good, and the class item variant only drops the airborne effectiveness for your Weapons of Sorrow. Big whoop. Who cares about airborne effectiveness? And if you do, you shouldn't. You basically get the entire Necrotic Grip exotic here, so pairing it with anything else is just a cherry on top. There's nothing that's going to directly boost Necrotic, so just pick something that sounds fun in the second column. Mine is Necrotic and Harmony, which I like. Osmiomancy is another very strong option for your first column. It will generate grenade energy from grenade hits. There are a couple of pairings, namely Verities for more damage along with that grenade, or Starfire, which gives grenade energy from weapon damage while you're in an empowering rift. My goal when it comes to Destiny builds and equipment is simplicity, so I personally find Starfire to be a bit too many hoops to jump through. Osmio and Verity is a solid option, but really anything pairs well with Osmiomancy. It's just that good. Finally, we have Apotheosis, which does somewhat need a pairing. Apotheosis will give you an ability spam Berserk mode for a few seconds after using your super. For pairings, you're looking at Star Eater to boost your super damage, or Harmony for more super energy. Either one would be fine. Perks that are great on their own include Inmost Light, Star Eater, Swarm, and Claw. This brings us finally to Titans, who sit in a similar camp to Warlocks, having a few standout options with a lot of middling others. Spirit of Severance is a really strong perk to have, causing kinetic explosions on finishers and powered melee takedowns. There's a couple of options to pair, namely Syntheseps for more melee damage, or Contact for lightning strikes on powered melee hits. Severance and Contact make up my favorite exotic class item and can cause some serious mayhem when put together. This one is a lot of fun, give it a try if you get your hands on it. Spirit of Eternal Warrior can also be solid, though mainly for a boss phase rather than general play. Pair it with Star Eaters for a hefty super and weapon surge right after. Very solid pick, if a bit niche. Finally, Spirit of the Bear. This one I wasn't sold on right away, but after the buffs to Unbreakable and a bit of extra time with it, I've really grown fond of the bear. It's better in high tier content where enemies deal more damage, so you're able to block more damage. You can get about a quarter of your super per shield, which is a lot of fun. There's not really any major pairings to go with it. Mostly you're looking at Star Eater for more super damage. I myself have the bear with Alpha Loopy, which now works with the thruster. Blocking damage for the team and a small team heal makes for a really fun frontliner that eats damage for breakfast. Good standalone perks for the Titan include Inmost Light, Verity, Scars, and Armamentarium. These are by no means the only good exotic class items. These are just the ones that I found most interesting. As with most things in Destiny, it comes down to personal preference. I personally don't see a lot of value in perks like Spirit of the Assassin, though I see a ton of value in things like Inmost Light. Let's talk about these exotic class items down in the comments. Have you used any of these combinations, or do you have your own favorites? Let me know. Until next time.